On iHeartRadio. Who wants to just go first?
Ladies first.
Okay. Okay. So we'll do that every time.
Okay.
You could just answer and he'll follow up
Okay.
until I say directly who's for who.
Cool.
Got it? Okay.
Sounds good.
Anthony, where's my water?
Oh,
Hi,
you're a
Anthony.
bougie staffer.
Okay.
What makes Urban House Radio stand out from other
Keep her up and.
Yeah, mama.
What makes us stand out from other college radio
Don't you see shows where they're like always looking at their flashcards?
Okay, so TR, you know you're gonna do like blah 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 blah. Welcome to my guests. This is the camera. Don't really worry about it. When you're talking to them, you're just talking to them, and you guys too don't need to look at camera. You know that. Thank you very much. And then you go back to there and do your ouch.
Okay, you can't even see my legs, right? So I'm not crossing them. That's hella uncomfortable.
What makes Urban Nights Radio different? Yeah, mama.
No, I don't
Yeah,
know
bye.
what's different.
Just yeah, mama.
We are all student run, right?
Yeah, all student.
What does it
run.
take to
That's
run?
what I'm gonna say. You just follow up.
I'm gonna say, what does it take to run a radio station on a radio? Then the second one is, what makes Urban Night Radio stand out from other colleges?
Urban Nights Radio.
On the website, it has no S. Just letting you know. What makes Urban Nights Radio
Yeah, mama. No,
stand out from other college stations? Should I just jump into that one? Fuck.
At least the first one,
Sorry.
right? No. Say both.
Okay.
about
I'm
to say.
sorry, people. I'm a little ratchet. You know. Oh, they do show my legs. Damn it.
Anthony, put your headset on.
Please zoom out of my chicken legs.
Hey, you got chicken legs. I got turkey thighs.
I wish I had some thighs.
Stand by. Do you have a graphics here?
No.
Okay, no video either.
No, that wasn't required.
Okay. Stand by. She doesn't have anything. She doesn't have anything.
This is not me,
Damn it,
girl.
Chris.
Yes, I literally just asked her. She doesn't have anything.
I like the let's talk. Can you bring it back to that?
Stand by. And you press down on the timer, okay? All right, coming to you in 5, 4, 3, 2.
What's up? I'm Tiara Garrett, and welcome to the Talk with T. Most people these days listen to music online with programs like Spotify and Apple Music, making the radio seem like an outdated place to look for new music. But radio is still admired and popular for Urban Nights Radio Sounds by Academy of Art University. With me today, I have Noah Rivers, the previous program director of Urban Nights Radio, and Noah Daniels, the current program director. Today, they're going to spill the tea on how they keep radio station alive and share some fun facts about their personal experience. So let's get started. Thank you guys for being here with me today.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so what does it take to run a radio station on iHeartRadio?
I think that it takes time and commitment mostly.
Patience.
That's a big
Really patience. And also to, get students on time with their stuff. Like you have to actually like poke them, be like, hey, where's your show? Where's your show? Where's your show? Like you have to do that.
That could be frustrating at times, right?
It can. That's why I said patience. Patience is key.
Okay, so what makes Urban Nights Radio stand out from other college stations?
I think the main thing that sets us apart from other college stations is we're 100% student run. We don't have any faculty or graduating students working for us.
And also, we do also have different shows. You could have, a gospel show. You could have a country show. You could have a Chinese show that's all in Chinese, or a Spanish show that's all in Spanish. And that's particularly to the other students that, can't really understand English that well, or even just be like, I need, a show that's to me.
Right.
And other students like here will make a show towards them.
That's really good. So it sounds like you guys are really diverse with your station.
Yes, very.
That brings like a wide crowd, doesn't it? A wide audience.
Yes, we are #1 on iHeart.
Oh,
Our
cool.
listeners worldwide.
Neat. Okay, so how do you balance managing a radio station and schoolwork?
I think for me, the way that I'm able to balance is because the station is in the main building of our school, so I'm able to go before class, after class, but also just a lot of help. Like, we're a community, so everybody helps each other out, which is a big reason why I'm able to balance everything.
Cool.
For me, I would do homework in the radio station, even though I'm not supposed to do that.
You tell it on yourself.
Yeah, I graduated, so I could tell on myself all the time. But yeah, I do homework in the radio station. So say like if something's uploading, I could do something, type of paper and stuff while that's uploading, and then, you know, switch back and forth.
Okay, cool. So how did you guys become program directors?
Well, Noah should go first because he was before me.
So I asked Maddie who is going to be the next program director after Terrell was going to leave. And he said nobody. And so now I was like, well, can I, you know, be trained and stuff like that? I was like, because I like doing this. And so then that's how I became program director last year. And then Noah Daniels took my spot.
Yes, and then when I was in Maddie's radio class, he asked me if I would be interested in training with Noah to see if I wanted to become program director. And so Noah trained me, and now I filled his position.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so why do you think it's important to have a radio station on campus?
I think that a radio station on campus really provides an outlet for students to use their voices and be creative, and it's here specifically, it's just a student space. There's rarely faculty in there, so I think that that's why it's important. So, yeah.
I mean, who wants to waste money on a DJ? When you could actually go to Urbanites Radio, we will actually come out and, you know, play music at the events if you ask us ahead of time. If you ask us like 2 days before, it's like, no, sorry, sir, or ma'am.
Okay, this question is for you, Nora Rivers. You have the longest radio show on Urban Nights Radio, hashtag the praise break. So did you know you were gonna break a record, or was it just a coincidence?
Oh, I know I was gonna break the record after 40 shows.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, but after 50, that's when I was like, I hit 50. And as of right now, I'm still going. Yeah, I'm at like 86 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, 86. And I'm planning on stopping at 100.
Wow, so how does that work? Are you pushing out shows every week, monthly, or?
Pushing out shows every week. If I do either 2 or 3 shows, and that's like me building up.
Cool. So this question is for Noah Daniels. I saw in your bio you like to empower women. Is there any shows on Urbanite Radio that caters to those topics?
Well, since I became program director, I've had to end my show. But so now I try to empower women through Tuesday Tunes and events that we put on by bringing in strong female voices or local female artists who can perform for the radio station then.
Oh, I love it. Girl power. Okay, Nora Rivers, have you met any celebrities or any fun talent to be on your radio show?
Actually, yes, I met a lot of celebrities. When I went to St. Louis, I met a lot of people. And even just here in the Bay Area, I met local Bay Area artists, gospel and R&B and hip hop too. And I'm actually playing a lot of songs on Urbanites Radio and on my show. I haven't told them yet, but.
Can you name one famous person you met?
One famous person, Ricky Dillard. I don't know if y'all know him, but Ricky Dillard, he's a big choir director, and he actually was on Jerry Springer in the 90s. So,
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
As what? As
No.
somebody's baby daddy? Or
No. They sung Christmas carols on there. That would have been funny, though.
Okay, Noah Daniels, do you see yourself as having radio as a career?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. I've put a lot of time in, so I hope that it becomes a career.
Okay, Nora Rivers, do you see yourself taking your show to on camera?
Actually, yeah, I've been having visions about putting hashtag the Praise Break live, like having a live concert, and probably even doing a benefit concert, actually. Even in the Bay Area, wouldn't take it out, but yeah, in front of the camera.
I love it. Well, thank you guys for coming. Well, that's what wraps it up. I'm Tiara Garrett, and this is Talk with T. Tune in next week to find out the life-changing benefits of living with a random roommate in college. See you next time.
Hello, I'm Selena Arjona, and this is Living Away from Home. Studying in a new country can be a stressful experience, from learning the culture norms to adapting to a new environment. Is it fine?
Keep going, keep going.
Oh, environment. Some international students can find it very hard to adapt to a new place because there is a lot of that comes with it, such as meeting new people, adapting to social behavior. Okay. Okay, you guys, just say something.
I didn't think the timer would be.
Your name. Tell me your name.
My name
Just
is
talk about anything for like 30 seconds.
My name is Amanpreet Kaur, and I'm from New York, but I've gone to boarding school in India for 7 years in 4 different boarding schools.
Say like one more sentence.
What did you eat today?
Talk about what you ate today.
Right, nothing today. That's the sad part.
Perfect, you're good.
My name is Mission Ricketts. I am the Jamaican boy from this place. So I hope everything is going on well. I'm just talking for 30 seconds, so let's just ramble on.
You're good, you're good.
30
Appreciate
seconds
it.
or 30 seconds?
30. 30.
Toti.
30.
That in my country is a bad word. It's like saying. I can't say it because it's already on the mic, so I don't want to say it.
Oh, you're gonna have to tell me what 30 is.
Toti is the female part.
Oh. Thought that was
Mike
tutu.
is already on
It's
girl.
okay. I think they know what that means.
Hello and welcome. I'm Selena Arjona and this is Living Away from Home. Studying in a new country can be a stressful experience, from learning the culture, norms to adapting to a new environment. Some international students can find it very hard to adapt to a new place because there is a lot that comes with it, such as meeting new people, adapting to new social behaviors, learning a new language, having a new sense of community, and other stuff. A student can take a long time to get comfortable with the culture of their new home, can affect their learning experience. It can be emotional roller coaster for them. Being so far away from family and friends, everyone can react in different ways to new environments, while students are excited to other for it. Have important people behavior. We have to get two guests here that are gonna share the experience with us. Here we have Michane, that he is from Jamaica and he moved 4 years ago to the United States. And we have AP, that she's from New York and she went to the India for a boarding school for 7 years. So nice to have you guys here.
Thanks for having us.
So my first question for you guys is gonna be, what made you move here to study?
Okay, so for me, it was not much of a choice to move here to study. Family issues back home prompted me to do something different, to pursue track and also art, which is very low in Jamaica. So it was the way out for me and for my mom, so she didn't have to end up paying for college.
Well, I was coming back from boarding school, so I was trying to rush as fast as I can to come back home. And not going to New York, it was just like I just had too many brothers for me. Like, they always watched me. So, like, I wouldn't get freedom. It was like I would be in jail. So that's why my mom told me to go to California, to go to San Francisco, so I could be doing whatever I have to do.
Good. So like at the time of moving out, did you ever have like any like backup or regret, like you didn't want to go?
Not exactly. My mom was actually very happy because I applied for the school before and I didn't get in. So when we heard that I could get in through the track program, it was a relief for her knowing that she wouldn't have to end up paying for college and stuff like that. And all of my other family members were pretty excited about it. They wanted me to go out, explore the world, and see what I could create and do what I could do.
And did it make you feel any type of way about leaving all of them behind?
Not really. I'm not really leaving them behind. I'm taking them with me internally. They are supporting me back home, and I talk to them every day. So I felt a little bit of relief coming here, saying that I can experience my life and they're supporting me while doing that.
What about you, AP?
Well, my dad didn't want me to go because he had me already away for 7 years. So being in boarding school for 7 years, it was hard for me to be away from my father and my mom, but like I was more close to my dad. And I used to see my mom at least 4 times a year. My dad was only like 2 times a year, only in the Christmas holidays and for summer.
So tell me more about your experience in India. Like you was there for 7 years in 4 different boarding schools. Tell me more about the experience.
Well, the reason why I changed 4 boarding schools in 7 years was because a lot of people in India, they're not like open-minded. And being brought up in New York, everyone's already open-minded. So it was hard for me to fit in because, one, I didn't understand the culture at all. And me, I don't believe in the culture that much because they're like too strict with the girls compared to the boys. Like the boys could do whatever they want to do, but the girls were limited to the things. So my mom told me that if I wasn't comfortable with the school, so I kept on changing boarding schools in different cities. Then I was only comfortable in this recent high school that I was in for 11th and 12th. I actually felt wanted by my fellow classmates and like I could fit in. So yeah, I was kind of happy, but I was sad that I had to go because I made really close friends that took care of me.
Yeah, that's the most difficult part.
Yeah.
Normally. So for both of you, what was the most difficult thing for learning from school in the new culture?
Definitely the mindset of people. Being from Jamaica, it's a more close-minded place. Where here in San Francisco, how the LGBT and all these other women's rights groups are so open to everything, it's not like that in Jamaica. So adapting to that was a challenge at first, but now I live with an LGBT roommate, and I don't have a problem with any of it. Also, the classes, I'm not used to the lecture type classes. We're used to just getting the work and just going to do it. But sitting here in a class, listening to lecture, the professor is making sure that you understand what you're doing. It's a good thing, but learning it at first when I was just thrown into it, it's a bit different. I felt left behind for most of the time.
What about you?
Well, culture-wise was difficult because I never wanted to like change and like follow my actual culture. And in boarding school, mostly I was on the north side part of India, but then my recent one was in the south side. So it was really hard because the food and my culture and where I was in boarding school was different. Like
Yeah.
like North Indians and South Indians, they have like different type of food. So it was kind of hard, and I never went home. So it was really hard. There was not a lot of kids who were from north side, so I always had to eat the south side food. I'm like, I was not really used to it, so I just never used to eat. I just used to eat junk food or fruits. That's it.
Yeah, the experience can be really different. So thank you guys. Every international student face a different experience of them. Some are better than others. Like our two guests here, they share all our ups and downs, moving from outside of the university and inside. The people you see though in we can really decide how smooth the transition can be. Thank you. Have a great night.
I got a bunch
stuffed
of-
most of it in my.
You
Oh,
You know, it's fine. Just let that cord be in your lap. Who cares?
Alternative Talk with Danny. I'm your host, Danny Duff, and today we will address a topic that is very near and dear to my heart. You know, that I love cosplay. But what exactly is cosplay? Most people think it's just dressing up as your favorite character and going to a convention full of sweaty nerds in costumes. But there's actually a lot more to it than that.
You're good.
For some of us, cosplay is a way of life. Okay, perfect.
as a
Oh, you can keep
sweaty
reading.
nerd, I can.
Same, except not sweaty. I'm here with my two guests, Jacob. Oh, it still says Lavisa on the teleprompter. I'm sorry about that. Oh, that was me. I'm here with Jake Jett. Can I call you Jake Jett?
Absolutely.
Cool, Jake Jett and Carissa Fei. Is it Fei?
Faye.
Fei.
Faye. F-E-I.
F-E-I, so Fei.
Oh, please,
Carissa
Jake
Fei.
Jett's my father. You can call me.
It still says Lavisa Davidson. I'm sorry, that's my mistake. Help us unravel some of the myths behind what it means to be a cosplayer. Well, there you have it. More on cosplay is more than just an extra Halloween in July. I'm Danny Black, and this has been Alternative Talk with Danny. Join us next time. Where's my point of? Do I look
Your
at?
male guest, may I have you speak into the mic, please?
Hello there.
Hunter.
No, talk normal. Don't speak into the mic. That was my fault. Not literally.
But of course.
Just talk.
Well, what I'd like for Christmas is my 2 front teeth. I asked for a pony like 13 years ago, and the big man still hasn't coughed anything up, which, you know. I mean, I'd settle for like a donkey, man. Those are adorable.
Alright, you're good.
Alright. I don't know what to talk about.
Okay.
You guys, I know we're having fun, but I want to get serious for a second. You do a mic check, just kind of like say what your favorite food is in the voice you're going to talk to Danny in.
Well, my favorite food is Szechuan chicken from Ming's Chinese restaurant. But you know what? After a good long week, I could really just go for
You're
a
good, you're good.
Baconator.
Okay, and then same with you.
I really like mac and cheese. Mac and cheese is my favorite food. I had mac this weekend, and like it's always good.
Good.
Yeah,
Are you
it's
good?
like-
Cool.
That's what I
Cool.
keep telling people.
So do I just look at the teleprompter when I'm talking to the thing, and them when I'm talking? I'm assuming that's camera one over there.
Everybody ready in there?
Can you see my man bun on TV?
All right, stand by, quiet on set.
Okay.
We are rolling to you in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome back to Alternative Talk with Danny. I'm your host, Danny Black, and today we will address a topic that's very near and dear to my heart. Now, most of you who know me know that I love to cosplay, but what is cosplay exactly? Most people think it's just dressing up as your favorite character and going to a convention full of sweaty nerds in costumes, but there's a lot more to it than that. To some of us, cosplay is a way of life. I'm here with my two guests, Jake Jett and Carissa Fei, who are here to help me unravel some of the myths behind what it really means to be a cosplayer. So tell me, Jake, what originally got you into cosplay?
Well, being a sweaty nerd for one. I think I've always had a fondness of comic books and comic book characters that I developed at a very young age because of my father, who worked at Marvel Comics as an editor in the 1990s, which is very cool. So he kind of let me read his vast collection of comics he had, and I would just read them at night. I read through them all. He's like, "Hey, Dad, you got any more?" And he's like, "No, you're gonna have to buy your own." Okay, I'll buy my own. So I did that, and as I got older, I found out Comic-Con was a thing. And I went there and I saw that people dressed up, and I'm like, this is cool. I want to do this.
That's so cool. So how about you, Carissa? What originally sparked your interest?
So like, you know, when I was growing up, I think I really liked, you know, cartoons and things like that. And then, you know, it was like when I was like in junior high or somewhere around that time, I really, you know, started like anime because this one friend named Olivia, and she you know, she really was really obsessed with Naruto, and and then after that, I became obsessed with Naruto. So that really
Naruto
started
is
with
definitely-
everything, and like, you know, there's a culmination of things too, like my faith for Christianity and things like that.
Yeah? Well, I mean, I
yeah,
think-
and then like, and then even, so what's really started was like, you know, there's this event called JTAF, you know, and then I had this sleepover with my friends and the night before, or I think it was that, and then I even met up the next day. We met up for that event, and my first official cosplay was like Naruto.
Awesome.
Some weird Naruto thing.
I know
pajamas.
Naruto is a bit of a gateway drug. That's where a lot of people tend to start.
And then I was wearing the Naruto sleeping cap.
Yeah.
That was my first cosplay.
Wow, awesome. Well, I know it's kind of, it's tough to be in college and cosplay, especially when you're on a college budget. Can you tell me, Jake, a little bit more about some of the challenges you faced?
Oh, absolutely. I've even made this joke with my brother. He'll ask, why don't you go to cons more often around this time of year? I'm like, Bennett, I can't just ditch class to dress up like Spider-Man. And he says, Spider-Man does? And I'm like, yeah.
That is very true.
I think one of the bigger challenges of cosplay is the physicality of it. Because if you look like a certain character, like let's say you've got the Tony Stark mustache going on, great, you're sold. You can do that.
I am Iron Dan.
Exactly. But one of the problems that I have is I recently shaved off my big caveman beard, so I can't cosplay as a Beast from the X-Men anymore. And I also, if I got a haircut, so I've got short hair, so I couldn't do that anymore. So I actually brought a few items today.
Ooh, show and tell.
Cosplaying has a lot of toys involved. So if I'm not able to do one of my other cosplays, then I'll just go as the Immortal Iron Fist. And what's really easy about this costume...
A martial artist named Danny.
Exactly. What's really easy about this costume is you just put on the mask, get a green shirt, and just do a little kung fu pose.
Look at that.
And you're good to go. It's good because, you know, in the Netflix series, he has a short kind of shave, so I don't have to worry about, you know, facial hair or lack thereof. If there's too much, just take a little bit off, and if the hair, again, not a problem.
All right, awesome. Yeah. Carissa, is there anything specifically? I know you were more into OCs, you were a little bit more into the anime realm. Is there anything?
Yeah, so like, you know, cosplay is about, you know, pretty creativity. You know, you try to use sometimes what you have, or, you know, you go all out. It's, you know, it's all that community togetherness, and I think that's pretty cool. So I'm trying to think of something.
Well, I know. It's oftentimes cosplay has an impact on like timing, budgeting, maybe transportation.
Oh yeah.
So especially as a college kid, it's really hard to make all of these commitments.
So it's basically balancing all those things out. So for me, I had to sometimes. It's also for me now. I'm not in college. It's just more of how much space I have in my house too.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like
stuff tends to pile up.
Yeah. Cosplay can be a lot of room and like take up a lot of space.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I sew sometimes my own costumes and sometimes make my own props. So it takes a lot of time for those. And the recent one I did was Noodle. Like, I thought it was going to be not that bad, but then I realized like how I put it together, it became a lot more expensive than I expected it to be.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like
I am one of the lazier cosplayers.
We got about a minute left. Do you guys? If you had to give them someone interested in cosplay, any future cosplayers, any advice? Like, what would you say to them?
Well, one thing I would like to talk about are some of the social issues of cosplay, because there are a lot of negative stereotypes for nerds and how we're like, you know, unclean, unorthodox weirdos, and unfortunately that's kind of the case. There have definitely been a lot of, you know, harassment issues, and you know what? I've never had that experience myself, luckily. But it's always the ladies who face the harassment. You've always got the weird kind of Aspergic
and
nerds.
there's a good 60-40% like just difference disparity between male and female, especially in the cosplay scene.
Oh, I've had friends who've just given me straight up nightmare stories about, you know, just inappropriate touching, stalking, you know, just internet stuff.
But I think now that it's gone mainstream, it's less of a concern of it happening randomly and more of just hey, this is something you should be aware of. It's something to note.
Yeah, I welcome the normies with open arms, because you get to play with the fun toys like these. Star-Lord gun, baby. Ever check this out?
All right, well, here you have it from the source itself. cosplay is a lot more than just an extra Halloween in July. I'm Danny Black, and this has been Alternative Talk with Danny. Join us next time as we embark on a wonderful quest into the wonderful world of furries.
Excuse me?
I'm just kidding.
Should I bring up the furry hands now?
You want me to start talking to you?
Who's start talking?
Because I know where you live. I will hunt you down. What's up, Chris? Champagne, Michelle, everything. Are we done? Okay.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Thank you so much for tuning into the highlight with me today. Today, we are highlighting graduates and the process that it takes to not only finish college, but to set up an actual life plan following your graduation. As you know, college can be very tough and overwhelming at times. You may even want to quit. But I have two very special guests with me here today. Sorry. But I have two very special guests here with me today to shine light on the many ways that you can push through and finish your college degree in whatever it may be. Thank you all for tuning into the highlight with me today. I hope those of you who are having second thoughts on college and contemplating even giving up, that you take everything that these graduates have told you and apply it to your college experience. We all have our bad days, but remember that your finish line is closer than you think. Tune in next week as we'll be talking about millennial budgeting and how to minimize your expenses to maximize your life. Thank you.
Good. And you didn't have video or anything, you just had the thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn, I didn't realize.
My name is Travis. I'm interviewing today on graduates. I got my undergraduate degree at Texas A&M Kingsville. While
You're all good. Go ahead.
Go.
Hey, do me a favor. Be careful with the stand up for me and scoot back.
Who, me?
Yeah, because your paper is going to be in their shop.
Oh, it's going to be in that
Your
shop.
chair.
Oh, so I should
Your-
put it. Move it back.
Straight back.
Tell me when to stop. That's good?
Yeah, go ahead, sir. Tell Crystal like what you come back a little bit.
I definitely need to go home and change. Ooh, I'm looking like a bum. I've been up here, everybody looking
you're
nice.
fine.
No, I had sweatpants on.
Oh, you just had to throw the Calvin Klein out there. Why couldn't you just say I got on some shoes? Or because you got money?
I'm stunned.
Those are nice though.
I didn't change my socks though. Hopefully you can see them.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Thank you so much for tuning into The Highlight with me today. Today, we are highlighting college graduates and the process that it takes to not only finish college, but to set up an actual life plan following your graduation. As you know,
Stop.
What? Thank you so much for tuning into The Highlight with me today. Today we are highlighting college graduates and the process that it takes to not only finish college, but to set up an actual life plan following your graduation. As you know, college can be very tough and overwhelming at times. You may even want to quit. But I have two very special guests here with me today to shine light on the many ways that you can push through and finish that college degree in whatever it may be. So I have Noah Rivers and Travis Pettis here with me today. Thank you so much for being here with me today. So first and foremost, I just want to say, we'll ask you, what was your college experience like and what made you want to go to the college that you went to? Travis.
Well, for me, initially, I was going to Texas A&M Kingsville in Texas. I was on a track scholarship down there. But then I got hurt, got out of school, ended up joining the military, and was thinking, like, you know what? I'll spend 20 years in the military. Got in, wasn't going to spend 20 years anymore. But during that time, I realized, well, I need to set up a plan on what I want to do when I get out of the military. So I started finishing my degree while I was in the military.
Oh, okay. Cool. And you know it?
4 years and I feel like 4 years, to be honest.
Oh, it flew by?
No.
Oh.
It felt like 40.
Oh.
And for me, I actually originally wanted to go to a, historically black college university in the South. That didn't work out. Then I wanted to go to the Art Institute of California in Hollywood. That didn't work out. And, well, there's a whole long story behind that. So, found this.
Okay. And what made you want to choose Academy of Arts University?
For me, when going back to school, like I said, I'm getting my master's degree right now. I had my undergrad in sports and health science, and I was a journalist actually. So I was working as a journalist, and it was like, okay, I want to go back to school. I need to go somewhere that's going to be able to take me to the next level. Absolutely. And for this school, they have a great communications program and learning how to be a video producer, doing on camera. So for me, it was finding a degree that could help me take that next step. Because there's a lot of people that just go and get a degree, but they really don't know what they're going to use it in, or they just think that it's going to look good on a resume. But for me, I wanted to add it onto the skills that I already had.
Okay. And just like him, I know you have a communications degree as well. What made you want to be a communications major as well?
Well, I wanted to do things behind the scenes because at first I wanted to be a chef, and they're always behind the scenes. So just wanted to stay behind the scenes and just be me. I don't really like to show my face a lot.
Okay. Well, while in college, how did you cope with stress? Because college can be extremely stressful. It makes you almost want to quit. So how did you cope? How did you guys cope with stress in those stressful situations?
I would say that the biggest thing is learning that balance between fun and school. So there was times to where when I was first starting out that it was all fun. And then I had those times where it was all school. And during those times, those were the most stressful times because either you felt you were doing too much and you weren't having enough fun, or you were having so much fun you weren't doing your schoolwork. So it was just kind of learning that balance of, okay, it's okay to have a little fun, but also when it's time to buckle down. So just learning that balance, and that kind of came with age and maturity and working in different things. Like, okay, I have to balance a job, my schoolwork, and for me at that time, I was running track too. So it was like, I had to learn how to balance both. And once I was able to learn how to balance those, it was like, okay, then everything started getting a little easier.
Yeah, I agree with that because I know a lot of freshmen who kind of that first year they want to party. They're finally out of the house. They want to party. So when did you kind of get it together? Like, was it sophomore when you woke up?
I would say for me it was actually once I was going to finish it the second time because I ended up not finishing it the first time.
Oh, okay.
I went through and like I said, it was just kind of that maturity. The second time I went back, I was 21 and I was starting back up and I just kind of felt I already had a little bit of life and it was like, you know what? This is a time, and that second time I was like, man, college is easy. Like to me, it became easy after that because I knew what I needed to do to finish.
Yeah. And what about you, Noah? What was your freshman? Did you have that bump in the road to where you were like partying, or did you finish straight through?
I'm not a party child.
Uh-oh.
No. When people tell me that they're going to the party, I was like, okay, come back to me when you're drunk and everything. I'll take care of you. I'm being serious. All my roommates, came in drunk and everything, and I took care of them. I gave them water, gave them crackers. I was like, okay, now lay down. I was like, nuh-uh, use the bathroom first. But for me, it was more music, food, life, and church, too, to just cope with stress. Like, when I'm sitting there doing my essays, I listen to music. I had to listen to like the neo soul and sometimes worship music at times just so I could keep going. Because if I, do my ratchet music, I may type some lyrics up in there.
Yeah. And I know you both worked while in college at some point. So what advice do you have for students who are working and going to college in time and time management?
Just like I said, time management is important. The thing about it is you have to get to that point in your life to where no matter what, your goal has to be more important than anything else. Yeah. So yes, I was working full time and I was in the military, I was doing deployments, and I was a full-time student. Yeah. So it doesn't matter what's in front of me right now. When it was work time, it was work time. Yeah. And then when it came right after work was over, it was school time. And you just have to get to that point to yourself. No one else can do it. Do I want this more than I want anything else? And that means when you have that and you still got bills and you still got everything else, you just have to just buckle down and just do it.
Yeah. Well, my work and school was in the same place and area, so.
Oh, so you did the work study program?
Mm-hmm.
That's okay.
And
I would imagine that it was easier that way than since it was in the same quarters.
At times it was, and then at times it was not. Mm-hmm. But I handled myself with patience because I gave myself patience. And I learned a lot with patience and also with time management and everything. Okay. And how to sort things out.
Okay. Well, thank you, gentlemen, so much for being here with me tonight. We really appreciate it. And there you have it, 2 graduates who have done it. If they can do it, you can do it. I'd like to thank you all for tuning into the highlight with me today. I hope those of you who are having second thoughts on college and contemplating even giving up to take everything that these graduates told you and apply it to your college experience. We all have our bad days, but remember that your finish line is closer than you think. Tune in next week with me as we'll be talking about millennial budgeting and how to minimize your expenses to maximize your life. Thank you for tuning in with me to the highlight.
You kind of wrap.
I
We
know.
can see that really well.
Yeah.
If you want to be with them.
I was like, am I going to be alone? Oh, if I was,
it
I
would be
was.
like all, like the whole thing, but I think if Isis squidges over a little bit,
Maybe he's better. What do you think?
Shoulder pads.
Shoulder
Who
pads?
did shoulder pads on their
Hi and welcome to Beyond the Front Row, your Academy of Art fashion club where fashion influencers unite. Now, if you're joining us for the first time, our job is really simple: to keep you guys connected with fashion enthusiasts across all majors. And every week, we're going to keep you up to date with the latest fashion events to get you involved with, so you guys, the students, can grow a professional network and gain industry experience, collaborate with other artists and designers. Keep going. I'm your host, Tamara Jaber, and today we are talking about Runway Repurposed, AAU's Design to Fashion show, this coming Friday, the 14th of December. I'm here with guests Isis, who is the president of Beyond the Front Row, and designer Andrea Meza, who will be showcasing her design in the show. Welcome and thank you guys for joining us. We're just practicing. We're just practicing. Thank you guys for joining us. So you're only a couple of days. They're going to just check your mic now. So just pretend.
Keep talking.
Oh, well, that's your Beyond the Front Row fashion recap. It's 4-day countdown till Runway Repurposed, and we can't wait. We'll be catching all the backstage behind the scenes action live from the show. So follow us on Instagram and meet us back here next week for Beyond the Front Row's Total Runway Recap. I'm Tamara Javer. Stay connected, stay creative, and we'll see you then.
Yay, you're so good at this.
No,
oh my
I'm
God.
not. No.
Okay. What fashion is
No, this is what I fucking do.
Okay.
No, don't. So it's.
Oh, this is a real. Okay, so just.
You want me to talk to them?
For breakfast.
Just talk.
I didn't eat anything because I have so much things to do. Yeah, but that's about it. We have meetings.
I haven't slept, so and yeah, I don't know what to say.
What you got for breakfast?
Nothing. I didn't eat.
They're fashion students. They don't eat.
Pasta. Oh, I like pasta, and my favorite drink is
Hi everyone and welcome to Beyond the Front Row, your Academy of Art fashion club where fashion influencers unite. Now, if you guys are joining us for the first time, our job is simple. It's to keep you connected with fashion enthusiasts across all majors. And I'm super excited because every week we're keeping you up to date with the latest fashion events to get involved with, so you, the students, can grow a professional network, gain industry experience, and collaborate with other amazing artists and designers. I'm your host, Tamara Jaber, and today we are talking about Runway Repurposed, AAU's Design to Fashion show this Friday, the 14th of December. I am so excited. I'm here with guests, Isis, the president of Beyond the Front Row, and Andrea Meza, a designer who'll be showcasing her designer in the show. Welcome and thank you for joining me.
Of course. Thank you for having us.
So you guys are very busy right now.
Yes, this is like the craziest of all times.
So Isis, tell me, you are the president of Beyond the Front Row. Tell me, what does it take to put on this show?
It takes a lot of patience and a lot of delegation and a lot of multitasking, because there's so many different facets, there's so many people involved, there's a lot of people who need questions answered, and you have to be able to organize your tasks really well while making a nice creative show that's very engaging for the students of Design One, because that's what this fashion show is all about. It's about keeping our Design One students inspired to go to the next level.
Right, well, I've actually sat in on a couple of your meetings, and I was very impressed because you have people from all majors. Maybe we can cut to a video and show you guys are doing everything behind the scenes. So you have, you know, fashion journalist students. There is a lot involved in this show.
Yes, we have marketing students, we have design, I'm product development. We have
there you are.
Basically, everyone kind of just coming together with their best talents. We have the top students, and we all just come here and make a show. So it's very different than the regular show because it's all about what the students really want. So.
Got it. And tell me, with the theme Runway Repurposed, it obviously is very prevalent in the fashion industry, the whole issue of sustainability. Tell me, why is it important to bring this up?
So it's very important to have sustainable practices when you have a fashion brand, because fashion is like the second most polluted industry in the world next to the oil industry. So
which I don't think people would
exactly
really think of fashion like that.
Exactly, and people don't really realize like the clothes that they wear. A lot of people want to buy something and then just throw it away like immediately, but in order to like keep a nice society, we have to focus on how can we reuse those items. So after the show, we have a zero waste practices like talk, which is going to help other students explain like how they can incorporate that into their lives, even if they aren't designers designing those exact items.
Right. Now, Andrea, you are a Design 2 student and you are showing in the show. Tell me about, you know, the experience of, you know, designing for the show, and tell me what inspired you for your design.
So my design is actually samurai. So I'm focusing more on the outer garment, like the harder shelf of the samurai, and also I'm inspired by the inside of the samurai outfit, and I wanted to use it by just grabbing the little details of the samurai outfit and do a lot of like wrapping and weaving, and also using
Wow, that looks amazing. Thanks. So tell me, what's it like, you know, we've just seen your sketchbook, and I know a lot of development goes into this. You know, you don't just make an outfit and throw it on the runway. Tell me, what's it like working with repurposed materials, and what have the challenges been for you?
So repurposed material is really hard because you have to use materials that you use every day, or like things that people usually throw out. Like in my garment, I use a mattress cover for the base. And
a mattress cover? How do you make an outfit out of that?
Right.
That's amazing. Okay.
I use carpeting and like just regular rope. So, and also just like fabrics that I had left over from my other classes. But it runs out really quick, so you always have to have like another way to try to figure it out how you're going to make it look.
Right, because I can imagine if you mess it up, it's not like you can go back and get another couple of, you know, yards of the material. So how important has it been for you to have this experience? Because I know, you know, design majors that are graduate students, and like you said, Isis, having, you know, this fashion show for the Design 2 students, do you think you run into challenges that you wouldn't expect?
I think so. I mean, I feel like this show is giving us a little glimpse of what's coming up, about how we need to focus on and what we need to prepare for our other classes. And it gives us also a new look of how we can use repurposed materials in our own fashion and be careful with what we want to present and what type of fabrics we want to show also.
Right. And what about you, Isis? I know you have a massive job ahead of you, and you do a really good, you know, job at kind of, I know it's only 4 days and counting. I'm really excited to go.
I'm super excited too.
Do you think, are you prepared? Is it going to go off without a hitch?
It's going to have hitches, but that's the best part of fashion.
Right, you both had said you haven't slept, but you look great.
It's going to be crazy. It's going to be intense. Like, my team is like actually excited for the backstage madness. I'm like, no, I'm not excited about that.
Well,
but
I'll definitely be there, and I'll be capturing all that. So we're very excited. We're going to be there. We're going to capture all of it. This is Beyond the Front Row Fashion Recap. It's only 4 days, girls, till Runway Repurpose. We can't wait. We'll be catching everything. And be sure to follow us on Instagram and meet us back here next week for a Beyond the Front Row's total runway recap. We're going to be looking at all the different looks and, you know, just talking about them. So stay connected, stay creative. I'm Tamara Jaber, and we'll see you then.
Rashad Williams with my two guests, Michael Houston. Welcome to Hot Topics. And on the show this week, we have a special treat. We're going to be reviewing a certain game that didn't exactly meet up to expectations. And that game is the one and only Star Wars Battlefront 2, designed by EA Sports. Thank you to all who tuned in tonight to watch Hot Topics this week. Thank you to all my fans who have been watching this show this entire year. You are greatly appreciated. Last but not least, thank you to my wonderful guests, Gail and Michael, for coming on the show tonight. And that's all, folks. Have a wonderful night.
Michael Houston.
What do you have for breakfast?
A bagel.
Bagel? What do you like to do in your free time?
Play video games.
Say, I like to play video games and eat bagels.
I like to play video games and eat bagels.
Good? All right.
We're good.
All right.
Good.
Your turn.
Same. My name is Gael Matiba, and I like waffles.
So boring.
A little bit more. Keep going.
And eat waffles, and I prefer butter over cream cheese.
Good. All right, stand by.
Oh my God. I'm trying to.
Hi, greetings, ladies and gents. This is your host, Rashad Williams, with my two guests, Michael Houston and Gail Matiba. Welcome to Hot Topics. And on the show this week, we have a special treat. We are going to be reviewing a certain game that didn't exactly live up to expectations. And that game is the one and only Star Wars Battlefront 2, designed by EA Sports. How you guys doing today, Gail and Michael?
Great.
I'm doing good, thank you.
All right, I'm glad to hear that. Now let's get started talking about this controversial game.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about the game? Go ahead, Michael.
Aesthetically, it's beautiful. But it didn't live up to expectations simply because from the first game was lacking in sorts from the PS2 days, from Free Radical. And LucasArts. And once Disney purchased it and EA took over, it just didn't live up to, Star Wars is about the fantasy of it all. The Jedi and Sith and starfighters and space and all that kind of jazz. And then it was lacking it. And a lot of people was disappointed in the loot box system, and loot boxes being reviewed by multiple countries as whether or not it is like gambling of sorts, which is illegal, obviously. And it didn't, again, aesthetically it was a beautiful game, but it was lacking in the core element of multiplayer, and it's fun. It wasn't as fun. I lose interest very fast. I stay probably playing like about an hour and then lose the fun of it all.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Gail, how do you feel about the game?
Well, like Mr. Houston said, there was a lot lacking that didn't translate over from the original Battlefront 2, from the PS2 days, from the studio Free Radical. They took out a lot of things that made the original franchise fun. Like in the original franchise, you used to be able to go from space, to land, then back to space simultaneously. It was seamless. You would just hop in the spaceship and fly all the way out into outer space. And this is a game that came out 12 years ago that implemented the system. So for something that came out in the years of 2017, where the technology is supposed to be far superior, for them to just leave something like that out, it doesn't make a lot of sense. And also, like Michael said, the loot box system is widely frowned upon in the gaming community. You're essentially paying for a game you've already bought. You continue to pay inside a game you've already bought. So that was a very controversial matter for a lot of people that played the game.
Interesting. Now that you both have said what you liked and obviously disliked, if you were given the option to, let's say, put your opinion into the next game that they make, what changes would you make or what suggestions would you give to enhance the game?
First of all, look at the pre-alpha footage from Free Radical before the studio closed down. Battlefront 3 was a beautiful game. They really expanded upon the Star Wars universe, and you know, as Gal mentioned, you know, going from from land to space, and that whole transition of actually going to space and going into the ship itself. And fighting on the ship and taking down the ship, you know, that was like one of the best parts of the game. It was just that glorious of going into the ship, blowing everything up, leaving while at it. You know, I think they really need to take a cue from that pre-alpha footage and listen to the fans and listen to, you know, they've been trying. Really been trying. The new map that came out with Geonosis, and they had General Grievous and Obi-Wan Kenobi. And you know, you can see they're working on some things, but again, they're missing the core elements. Geonosis, that map is a huge map on its own. It was a huge battle in the movie itself, and you know, they kind of shrunk it, and it was just like, all right, EA, we understand you have Battlefield, and you know, you're known for your big wide maps and stuff. So why you didn't bring that to Star Wars? And then take some of what Free Radical done and just elevate upon it.
Interesting.
More graphics.
Gail, do you have any suggestions that you would give to EA?
I would say pretty much everything Mr. Houston is saying, but instead of taking everything improved upon by Free Radical, I would say add a brand new spin on it, because it is a different studio, and game developers do have their egos. They like to put their own spin and perspective on things. The only problem with that is making it fun for the gamers, because that's where it all leads to. If it's fun, I will pay money for it. It's a simple service for a service, a product for a service for a product. So I just want to play something that's fun. So if they make a game that's fun, they don't necessarily have to recreate everything that was great in the first game. They just have to make it something that's good with what they have, what they're working with. If they manage to do that, I don't think they'll have any problem selling any more copies.
Interesting. Now, from two people that have obviously played the game, how much would you tell a person, or I'm sorry, would you suggest this game for a person who's never played it?
Absolutely not. Well, I mean, as a Star Wars fan, I would say sure, why not check it out if you have the $60 or however much it is now. But I would say, I don't know if I would recommend it at this point. Maybe if they improved upon it, let's say in May or spring of next year or something. But right now, I'd say no, don't buy Red Dead Redemption or something.
Interesting. Gail?
I would not recommend it at all, because I would say just wait for the better reiterations. Wait for them to learn from their mistakes. Don't play something that's currently broken and in the process of being fixed. Play something that has learned from all the things that were broken and is whole at release, not over the span of months or even years, which is the case because it's almost a year now that the game was released and it still has its issues.
All right, well, thank you. Thank you to all who tuned in tonight to watch Hot Topics this week. Thank you to all my fans who have been watching the show this entire year. You are greatly appreciated. Last but not least, thank you to my wonderful guests, Gail and Michael. Thank you for coming on the show tonight, and that's all. Have a wonderful night, folks.
And more. Women, careers, relationships, and more. I'm your host, Talia Thompson, and today is going to be a great show. On tonight's episode, we will be discussing the art of balance. Am I like actually reading it? Oh, is multitasking a myth? Can women really do it all? And by all, I mean balancing careers, love, and our own personal. The new era where, okay, I can skip all of that actually. You know it? No, I mean like if we don't, I don't have to read it if you guys don't have time.
No, what I'm saying is you're gonna read it. We didn't have time to practice the whole thing. Are you okay with that? Have you practiced?
Yeah, I've practiced.
Yeah, so you're gonna read it. I didn't want to go through the whole thing practice.
Oh no, we can just go live.
Oh yeah, watch your hair over your mic, please.
Oh, my hair. Sorry, I don't know why I tried to like pretend my hair was. I can't watch it. Like, watch my hair.
Okay.
Alana, watch your hair over your mic. It's not touching right now, but I would just be aware of it. Like,
Yeah, just move this side of hair.
I did absolutely nothing. I worked on homework a little bit, and then I watched a movie. And that's about it.
Good? You're good.
Okay.
Tell me what you did today, what you have for breakfast.
I didn't eat breakfast.
Oh
I
my
went to
God.
the library
That is like a shame
and
Hello and welcome to Tea Time, where we talk all things women, careers, relationships, and more. I'm your host, Talia Thompson, and today is going to be a great show. On tonight's episode, we will be discussing the art of balance. Is multitasking a myth? Can women really do it all? And by all, I mean balancing careers, love, and our own personal passions and dreams. It's a new era where women are encouraged to pursue any and everything, but what happens when not everyone you know and love are on board? Women are constantly being tested in today's society, whether it may be the pressure of getting married, graduating from college, having children, or all of the above. We live in a different world today where women are becoming more than just housewives, but breaking boundaries and accomplishing things that have never been done before. So today on Tea Time, we're going to talk all things good and bad about the pressures we face today. Joining me on this week's episode are student athletes Alana Lucas and Michaela Charette, who know and understand the weight of trying to balance college, sports, and building a future for themselves. So ladies, thank you for joining me tonight. You guys look beautiful. I'm just, we're gonna start off like really simple. This question's for the both of you. So how do you both balance school, sports, and relationships, if you have one?
You can go first. I think
Lana?
time management is a huge thing. For me, organization was probably number one. Getting a planner, planning out my day.
With the cute little pen.
Oh yeah, cute little pen,
Yeah.
highlighting things,
Yeah.
crossing things off. That was all like, it's like satisfying for me and like keeps me in check so that when I have a day out, like I can see what I need to do it in order, and then go on with my week.
What about volleyball, like balancing volleyball into all of that too?
Oh yeah, that's definitely a hard thing, especially with traveling. I think that just thinking ahead of time and thinking of the projects that I have and the homework that I need to do, and then seeing not just like today, but like what do I need to do like next day or like next week even, and like planning that out ahead of time, that was a huge thing.
And that's so important too. What about you, Michaela? What are your
I
thoughts
think
on
staying
that?
organized is key.
Yeah.
I like to color code everything.
Yeah.
So even my notes in class are very color coded, I guess, and highlighted.
Yeah.
And so just staying organized and balancing.
Do you think multitasking is a myth? Because I've heard people say that, you can't do a lot of things at once. Either you're going to do something really good in one sitting, or you're going to do a lot of things bad in multiple sittings, if that makes sense.
I think it's definitely real. I think you can handle it. I think multitasking and being able to balance everything is easily doable.
Really?
I don't think it's a myth. But
Oh,
Yeah.
what about you, Lana?
I agree. I think that multitasking is doable, but like with that comes organization, and you have to really be able to be on top of it.
Yeah. And I think that's so true because for me personally, I love Ayesha Curry and I love Joanna Gaines. And I think that there are two examples of women that know how to balance things. I mean, at least for the camera, like I'm not really sure if they can do it out, you know, off on the side of things, but like, I mean, both of them do a lot of different projects at once. I think it's like very encouraging and inspiring to do so. Lana, what are your thoughts on today's world that women are encouraged to pursue their careers and passions?
Oh, I love it. I think that, especially like in this day and age, well, for me personally, like my career and like design for me is like the one thing that I like 100% want to focus on all the time. Like I love it, I'm obsessed with it, and without that, I really don't know what I would do. I think that that's like great that women today can like have their one thing that they want to focus on and have a career and be focused and driven towards it. I love it.
How do you like tie in other things that you may not have as much passion for?
I think that, I don't know, I think that having
it's
my
okay
passion
not to
for
know.
design.
Yeah, it's okay not to know. I mean, we don't all have the answers, but what are your thoughts on it, Michaela?
No, I think focusing on your career is something that will benefit you in the future. So I think that as women, we should be focusing on our career, and then other things will fall into place, and then you'll be able to balance everything once you have your life set.
Yeah.
What
Who
you
are
wanna
some
do.
women that inspire you both?
I think for me, I always follow like designers on Instagram and everything.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are women and are moms. So seeing them balance not only their career, but like being a mother and then being a wife is just so inspiring, because that's something that I want to do, like something that I can like follow in their footsteps even.
Yeah.
So I think that a lot of designers that are moms just are super inspiring to
I think
me.
the new thing is called the mompreneur. Have
Yeah.
you guys heard of that?
Well, you mentioned Joanna Gaines, and she just had another kid too.
And I think
she
that's
is
balancing
like I don't know, like
because
6
you're inside
children or
interior
something.
design. So
Yeah.
you know what is her stamina represent to you?
Well, I think I don't know. I watched a documentary on her, and I think it's just cool how she's able to like really spend time with her kids and involve her kids into designing these gorgeous homes, and also spending time with her husband. I mean, they do work together, but she's still able to balance. Like he can go hang out with the kids, and then she can too. And she's, I don't know. She seems very put together.
I think the key word is balance.
Yeah.
though. Like taking time for yourself and stuff like that. Do you guys have anything that you guys do that is kind of like your own little personal thing outside of graphic design, outside of interior design, or no? Like swimming or like anything like that?
Swimming, Hawaii girls.
True.
Traveling. Oh, those are like, traveling is like the big thing that like
Yeah.
when I need a break, like I would love to be able to go somewhere for a weekend or something.
Okay, so what are your guys' thoughts on love versus career? Kind of diving a little bit deeper into things like that.
Well, like I said earlier, I think that once you follow your career and once you like pursue your passions, I think that's when love like ties into everything. So
how about you, Lana?
I don't know. I'm
That's
not in a
tough one.
relationship. So.
Yeah, that's a tough one for me, just because I am a relationship and I am very career driven as a person. So I think that something that we talked about early on was that I am very focused on my career, and that's something that I really, really love, and I've loved for a long time. So I think that he was able to see that, and he has a love for his career too. So I think that we were able to kind of be able to do our own things, but still be able to
Your
like,
own
have
person.
time with each other and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But yeah, we're definitely our own people when it comes to our careers, and that's something that's I love. Like I love being able to go to design and have my time and like be able to do something that I love.
Oh, perfect. Well, we're out of time, unfortunately, ladies, but thank you so much for your thoughts. It certainly is an exciting time for young girls and women everywhere, with amazing role models like the few we've talked about: Ayesha Curry, Michelle Obama, Joanna Gaines, and countless more. We can and we will remain hopeful for the future. For all my females out there, whether you're pursuing a degree, traveling the world, or entering the commitment of a marriage, don't forget to take time for yourself. You know, go for a walk, get your nails done, buy yourself that cute coat you've been wanting, but always be sure to take a break once in a while. You deserve it all. Well, that's it for tonight's episode of Tea Time. Once again, I am your host, Talia Thompson, and be sure to join us next week as we talk all things Christmas and some of the cutest gift ideas out there. We'll see you next time here on Tea Time. Good night.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world. I'm Christian Solorzano, and on today's show, we'll be talking about the current state of dance music and where it will be in the next couple of years. Still on the rise, maybe on the decline. It's one of the fastest growing music genres, with DJs jam-packing clubs and arenas around the world to perform for their fans. To discuss this topic, we have Joel Maida, who's a DJ and a producer, and Carlos Montalvo, who's also a DJ and a producer. They've played shows throughout the Bay Area, SoCal, and even the Midwest. With their knowledge and expertise, they have a good idea of where dance music is headed. That's good?
We'll have you go first on track now.
Okay.
Just what's your name? What'd you have for breakfast? Just
Let's see. My name is Carlos Montalvo. DJ name's Nick Tia. Born and raised in Long Beach, California. Came to San Francisco.
Thank you.
All right.
My name is Joel Maida from Muscatine, Iowa. DJ and producer for about 10 years now. And I had eggs for breakfast. Good.
Yeah. Slow down, Christian. Don't be hiccup fast. All right.
Do me a favor and just lean that way a little bit. You're leaning out. There you go. You're done. Perfect. I'm ready.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world. I'm Christian Solorzano, and on today's show, we'll be talking about the current state of dance music and where it will be in the next couple of years. Still on the rise, maybe on the decline. It's one of the fastest growing music genres in the world, with DJs jam-packing clubs and arenas around the world to perform for their fans. To discuss this topic, I have Joel Maida, who's a DJ and a producer, and Carlos Montalvo, who's also a DJ and a producer. They've played shows throughout the Bay Area, SoCal, and even the Midwest. With their knowledge and expertise, they have a good idea of where dance music is headed. Thank you for joining me, gentlemen. How you guys doing today?
Doing all right. Finally here.
Yeah?
Good
thank
day.
you.
Yeah, no problem. So, let's talk about the current state of dance music. Where do you guys think it's at the moment?
I'll let you go first.
Of course. I was gonna go first. Dude, honestly, it's been crazy ever since I started raving, probably like back in 2006, 2005. Electronic dance music always been on the rise, whether from even warehouse parties, going to clubs, and now look at it now. It's going into festivals, going into big cities all over the country, even like international.
Yeah, no, it's definitely on the rise. The music, in my opinion, maybe not so much. A lot of the music is starting to sound a bit the same, but the culture and everything around EDM is definitely on the rise. You're seeing it more in mainstream media. You're seeing it more in, everyday commercials and actual DJs and commercials for Dylan Francis was just in a commercial for Hulu. Steve Aoki was just in a commercial for a smartwatch. So you see them, kind of making their appearances more and more. So I think the culture is definitely on the rise.
So why do you think it's the fastest growing music genre? Like, it's been just tremendous of how big and fast it's gotten.
Well, it was definitely something new when it popped up in the early 2000s or so, and we already had a lot of big name DJs at the time, but a lot of them were coming from overseas and introducing it to us. And with Avicii, with Levels coming out, that was huge. It started popping up on the radio stations everywhere, and he was a huge help and huge influence at that. And then there's David Guetta, there was Calvin Harris, who have been producing and DJing for a long time. They kind of helped bring that culture over here, and it caught on pretty quick.
And even aside of that, like, you could turn on the radio now and like, what are you listening to? You're listening to Big Room, you're listening to Deep House, you're listening to something that's of a different genre that's remixed to a song that you already know. I know most people, they like disco, they like R&B and hip hop, and what's being out, it's turning into trap, it's turning into like disco house remix, it's turning into other genres that are heavier, like hardstyle, that turns more, people that like more punk and heavy metal music, they always transition to that from what I've seen in my experience.
And just like, you have these other like people outside of the genres, these rap artists or, like these pop artists who want to collab with these DJs who also want to, just, bring that taste of music into their world. Like, what do you guys feel about that? How do you guys feel about that?
Honestly, I like it. It just brings out the culture a little more, brings more, I would say, like a different culture for everyone to enjoy and to understand. Like, hey, EDM isn't just one specific type of bubble. It's like a bigger bubble more than you could ever expect. Like, and now when I go to festivals, like huge festivals, there's stages for every types of genres out there. Something that's like a little heavier, a little softer, something that's more mainstream that you hear everything off of the radio, or something you just hear at a random club or a bar too. It's always gonna keep progressing, and artists and always gonna want something new and different. Like recently, I don't know if you've seen the news, T-Pain's been looking for a house DJ or a house producer to remix one of his songs or make something new. Some turn him down, and many want to do a collaboration with him. I think it's great.
Yeah, no, I love all the collaborations. Even like the most recent EDC, one of the biggest electronic music festivals in America, Drake showed up at one of the dubstep stages, and it just blew everyone's mind. So all these artists from way different genres are definitely getting more involved. It's definitely, it's something I'm sure, they can get a lot of money from it, but, the music itself and the culture, it's high energy and it's a lot of fun, and who won't want to get involved with that.
Speaking of festivals, on the topic of festivals, to those who've never attended a festival, what would you explain to them what it's like?
The culture is great. The very first show I went to, usually people will go to a more low-key kind of show, nothing too big, but my first show was a festival, and I went there pretty much by myself. I had about 2 friends that were there that were just spread out, and it was just amazing. Everyone was extremely friendly, and I love music. I come from a background of loving all sorts of different genres, and I used to go to all sorts of different concerts, but the EDM culture at shows, festivals, is just amazing. Everyone is just super friendly. They treat you like you're a longtime friend, so it's a lot of fun.
You could just see it as like anyone as you like music of your own genre, your own artist. It's like going to see their concert, except you're seeing him plus tons of other people that you've always wanted to see as well, or even artists that you've never heard of. It's always good to see something new, something different. Going to a festival, whether it's a big, massive, that takes off like huge venues, or even a club event, or even going to August Hall, seeing an EDM artist, you're opening yourself up to something new and different that probably you never experienced before.
So any last words for those who aren't in the scene, who've never listened to the music, just want to give them, any, not word of advice, but, just any last words for them?
It's like, go for it. Don't say no. Just say go for it. Because I've known a lot of people that I'll invite, they never gone ever in their life before, and then next thing you know, I'll take them or invite them, and they're like
been missing out this whole time.
Yeah, it's like, what have I been missing out on?
Oh yeah, no, because I've loved the music for a long time, and this guy and a few other friends, they really pushed me. They knew I was into the music, and they're like, you have to go to a show though. If you like rave, go to a rave. And so I finally went to one, and it was a lot of fun. And like I said before, I went by myself, and it's something someone could go by themselves. You can make friends along the way, and even if you don't like the music, it's still a lot of fun to go and check out the production, check out the light show, and plus sometimes if you ever go to a festival, not just a small rave, there's plenty of other things to do too. So there's a lot of opportunities to go.
All right, well, looks like we're running out of time here. I want to thank Joel and Carlos once again for taking their time out of their day to join us and talk about the current state of dance music. I'm Christian Solorzano, and thank you for tuning in. Until next time, America.
and get an inside look on how they approach the music industry. I have two very special guests with me today, Kaniva Bakari, aka DJ Kenzo, who is a relatively well-known DJ out of Stockton. Oh, they didn't fix it. Hold on. That's not the updated one.
We'll find the updated one.
Chris, you put it in a Word document.
Bakari, aka, Oh, DJ Kenzo. Is that what I was supposed to say? Yeah. My name is DJ Kenzo. DJ out of Stockton, California. Today had a lot of 209 in the building. Had a lot of big things to do. Okay, for sure.
It's fine. How you doing? My name is Marlon Britton, also known as Marlon B. A recording artist, R&B artist, songwriter, producer. Today was a good day. Isaiah hit me up, so we're here. You know, we're doing it.
You are good.
Hello everyone, my name is Isaiah Quiroz and this is Music Mondays, where we discover talent and get an inside look on how they approach the music industry. I have two very special guests with me today, Kaniva Bakari, aka DJ Kenzo, who is a relatively well-known DJ out of Stockton who recently opened up for a huge Bay Area artist and who has his first headline show in 2019. I also have Marlon Britton, aka Marlon B, who is a singer and songwriter who is most known for his song More to You, and he just recently dropped a new song called Why. Thank you both for being here today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
No problem, no problem.
All right, so I just want to get down to the basics. What made you guys want to pursue music? Ken?
I guess what made me what made me want to pursue music was my mom. She always listened to music around the house. Like every Saturday we were cleaning and she was always slapping like, you know, the latest songs and stuff like that. So it really got me into just a good mood, and whenever I was sad, when I was down, I would listen to music. So now I have an escape way with DJing, so I haven't been down in like 2-3 years because I've been DJing for 2 or 3 years. So that's why I started music, because I don't ever want to be feeling like that again. So yeah.
That's awesome. Mine?
For me, I wanted to be a rapper first because I always wanted to be on stage. I thought it was a cool thing to do until I saw Chris Brown on 106 in Park. Chris Brown had all the girls, so that's all I wanted at that time. And then I found out I'm actually pretty good at it, so I kind of just fell in love with it and kept on going. That's what made me want to pursue it.
That's cool. Ken, I said before that you opened up for a big Bay Area artist. Why don't you tell us more about that?
I opened up for Guapdad 4000 on Saturday. He's honestly becoming one of the biggest, not only just Bay Area artists, but artists in California. He recently did some collabs with Drake, so that was like a really big deal. It was a big deal for me to be in that environment, to be around those people. He welcomed me with open arms, really good guy, so I'm hoping to work with him very, very soon in the future. I was very excited on Saturday, so I'm ready to keep the ball rolling with him.
Yeah, that's a great opportunity.
Yeah.
Hopefully you can build on that.
Definitely.
And Marlon, you just dropped a new single called Why. How do you feel about how it's being perceived so far?
Got a lot of love so far. We're trying to see what the analytics are. Hopefully it blows up on Spotify even more. Right now we're about around 1,000 plays. SoundCloud, could do a little bit better, but it's been a year, so I'm pretty happy with the way it's been coming along. More to You did really well. It was on the radio, got like 5,000 plays. It was like really big, so now we're trying to find another song to top that. So
right,
really
just trying to keep it consistent.
Exactly.
Right. How difficult is it for you guys to, advertise yourselves basically as artists?
I would say it's not so difficult anymore, just because we have a plan and we know what we're doing and we help each other out all the time. When we first started, it was kind of hard because we don't know what the heck we're doing.
Yeah.
So it's like we just started it out. We had to follow what other artists were doing and see how that was going. But now it's becoming really easy, consistent. Honestly, coming to school here helped me advertise a lot of my stuff, like being able to edit my own videos. I don't need to hire nobody no more. I can just do it myself. So honestly, it was pretty dope. Like I could say my degree really helped me. Go to school, guys.
Everyone.
For me, we have the Black Epiphany team, includes DJ Kenzo. We kind of sit down every week and decide what the plan moving forward is for each of our different projects and things like that. Ken pretty much A&Rs all my music. He tells me like, all right, I feel like this verse could be a little bit better. I feel like this chorus could be a little bit stronger. So we go from there and kind of just push it. So all we try to do is push each other forward and be as best as we can.
Yeah, collaboration is definitely key in this industry, right?
Yes, definitely.
And as you guys start getting bigger, you guys have to watch what you say on social media, you know, basically to like make sure you're not perceived in any bad light.
Yeah, we do. I just honestly, my manager just hit me up today because I said some bad stuff. So yeah, I definitely have to watch. Not so Marlon. Marlon does a good job of censoring himself. He kind of keeps what the bad things at the house, but me on the other hand, I need to work with what I say on the gram. I actually really done a good job of reconstructing like how my Instagram looks and how my Twitter looks. I got little kids kind of like hitting me up now. So yeah, I'm doing a better job with what I say and how I say it.
Yeah, for me, you're just seeing like how your tweets can come back to haunt you. Like Kevin Hart is a big inspiration for me. You know, he got the Oscar host, and the old tweets from calling people gay or all these other slurs, they came back to haunt him. So now you have to step down. So like that just lets you know. And that was from what, 9 years ago?
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like that's crazy. So you might just watch what you say.
really
and
watch what
just,
you say.
if you gonna say something crazy, just keep it off the internet.
Yeah.
And hopefully off camera too. So.
Is it kind of the same thing when you guys are performing as well? You got to have like a certain persona almost when you guys are on stage?
I would say so. Like none of my music has curse words in it. Even though I do curse a lot, I can tell you that. But I don't curse in my music just because I wanted to be radio friendly. On top of, I don't feel like I need to have it in my music. So that's how I keep it going.
Yeah, it's very true. I feel like I don't really put on. I just be myself. I try to be as professional as possible and try to be the man my mom raised me to be and my father. So if I keep to those things, I think I'll be okay. But yeah, you definitely have to watch how you present yourself. Kind of present yourself with a confident attitude, but also be humble at the same time.
Right. What do you guys got going on in the future? What's next for you guys?
A lot of stuff, man. It's gonna be an exciting 2019. You want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Yeah.
You got a lot of stuff. Right now,
let's make it brief though.
All right. Sure. Right now, I'm working on my EP called In the Dark. We got a couple songs together. Want to put out a couple more before we drop it. 2019 in the first quarter. That's the goal. So that's what I'm working on right now.
Yeah. Right now, I have a huge show at Hugh on New Year's Eve. It's like my first big New Year's Eve show. I have my first headline show in 2019. I'm working on an album in 2019. Yeah, if I keep going, we're gonna be here for a long time. It's just a lot of good things are happening. I'm just now got sponsored by Party On, so I'm very excited about that. The meeting is Friday, so we're just gonna see how that goes, sign the dotted line, and go from there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I want to thank you guys both for being here again. I'm sure we could talk for days about your guys' music. But yeah, I want to say thank you again to my two guests who were so generous enough to spend their time here today. Next week, we'll be meeting with an artist you might have heard of because he is making noise and is on the rise. So you do not want to miss out on hearing about this guy. Thank you everyone for tuning in to Music Mondays. My name is Isaiah Quiroz. Have a good night.